to us a year or so, like 2 years ago, maybe.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. So it's just another trick in our bag of tricks, right, for these people. So if you have any questions, reach out to Kayla. Celebrity River. So I asked you guys all to update that spreadsheet so that we can know exactly what's been invoiced and what hasn't, because that really needs to be done today. Hey, Carrie.
Hey, sorry.
Are your invoices in for August?
I'm missing. I need one. I just need to get the savings overlay added.
Done, okay.
Will do.
All right, thank you. Okay, so Celebrity River. So I've already been checking. I mean, there's no way it's going to be up this early, but I'm just going to get in the habit now of checking every hour, and then by tonight, I'll probably be checking. Well, I'll probably continue to check every hour. And by tomorrow morning, I'll be checking like really frequently, because we want to make sure that we're on that as soon as we can. So if anybody's up early and you want to check, that would be great. And then just send the gang, hey, Celebrity River's open, and then we can all sort of jump in.
Tina, can I just jump in? Because Amy joined the meeting, but she does have to head out because she's actually flying out today. So I don't mean to be rude and cut you off, but I did want to introduce.
Perfectly fine.
Wanted to introduce everybody to Amy. She is joining our team part-time. So Amy has a background in video and multimedia production and editing. She's done podcasts. She's worked with influencers and worked corporate, done a whole bunch of stuff. I've worked with her in some of my previous employment jobs, and know that she can bring a lot to the table. So I will hand over to Amy, and she can just say hi, maybe tell you the highlights that I missed.
Yeah. Thanks so much for bringing me on, and it's so nice to meet everyone. The chat is very active, so I'm trying to keep up with everything. I'm going to the Azores tonight, which are the islands right off of Portugal. It's only a 5-hour flight right out of Toronto, which is really great. I'll try and do some travel content to maybe use as examples of the way you guys can shoot if you're out on a cruise. I have about 12, 15 years background in videography, graphic design, educational content, social media, video, podcasts. I'm currently producer for the podcast Bite Back with Abby Sharp. I'm working in educational media as well in the insurance field. And I do a lot of videography and editing for different organizations or businesses in the GTA. Weddings too. I shoot on Super 8 if anyone is needing anything interesting and vintage looking. So yeah, I'm really excited. I've been kind of looking to get into more travel or, travel content, but also like marketing, sales content. So it was kind of serendipitous that Linda reached out. Yeah. And thanks for having me.
That's great. Welcome, Amy. So, fun bit of news is that Amy's going to be joining us on the team cruise, and she is going to be working with all of us on content creation. So we will have our own internal expert to help us, for example, I came off the Star of the Seas with videotaping all of my videos horizontally, and I do know better. But this is the kind of stuff. So Amy was brought on to work with the agents. She's going to help us with, what kind of content we should be gathering, and then she will be helping put it together so that we can be reusing this content, because we actually have a lot of it, but we don't have a lot of great content. So we can look back to our content and say what is good, what can we use, but also how can we get a lot better at creating content and then using that, utilizing it to its fullest potential. So
For sure.
it's been something that we've been talking about a long time, because we're actually really good, I think, in my opinion, at our content, graphic content, non-video. And I think this is just kind of the next stage for us. So very exciting. All right. So Amy, we'll look forward to getting together with you. We tend to get together, what do you think? Maybe 4 times a year we try and get together. So this is one of our big ones where we all, really get together and do some learning and have a really good team bonding event. So that should be a lot of fun.
Really looking forward to it and meeting you all in person. So it's coming up quickly.
I know.
It's so funny because I keep thinking about that trip, even though I already had this one planned and booked. I was like, anyways. All right. Thank you so much. And I'll be back on the 9th in the evening. So I'll probably miss next week's team meeting, but I hope to share some.
No problem. So actually, I've got a group going to the Canary Islands in 2027. So I'll be interested in seeing some of your pictures. So see what it'll be like in that part of the world. I've never been there. So I've never even been to Portugal, which is surprising because I've been everywhere, feels like. But have a great time, and we'll catch up with you when you get back.
All right. Thank you so much.
Safe travels.
Guys.
Bye, Amy.
Okay, so back to Celebrity River. So we have that spreadsheet. Maybe we need to make sure all those get invoiced today. Do we have any questions about River at this point? Is there anything still ambiguous?
So I just want to double check the process. So tomorrow morning we each go into the Celebrity system and lock in our own clients, right?
I would say whoever's there first. And if someone's not up, or like say it opens at 6 a.m. for some weird reason, I would say, I would say we just all jump in and help each other. That's why we want that spreadsheet updated, so that we know we've got clients approval, we've got the credit card numbers, we can just go in and jump in and book them.
So I still don't see Celebrity River in the menu. Is that
No, it's not there yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's 2 schools of thought here. It's either going to open up at 6 o'clock before they leave for the night, or it's going to open up tomorrow morning when they get in. My guess is they're going to open it up tomorrow morning, only because there's so many of us know that things open up the night before now, and they probably don't want to risk being sold out by the time 9 a.m. rolls around, because that's really not fair on all those agents that don't know that things open up early.
Well, we're just getting into the queue. We're not selling out anything tomorrow.
What, Matt, you're saying no? Matt, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we're just buying deposits. We're not booking anything.
Right.
So, we're just processing deposits.
Right. But it's still going to, in my guess, it's going to sell out tomorrow.
Well, they're just making a priority list tomorrow on Zenith and Elite Plus. And
no, it's everybody.
No, everybody.
Everybody. And then they contact you based on priority.
But I don't think they're going to sell out.
Right.
I think we're going to be able to sell as many as we want. What's going to happen, though, is when it comes time to book, that they're going to be slotted in priority for Zenith and Plus. And then as those fill up, everybody who doesn't get what they want are just going to get their deposits refunded because they didn't get what they want. Or they saw the price tag and go, oh my gosh, I didn't expect it to be $10,000. I'm out. Give me my $700 back.
Yeah, you're probably right. But still, I want to get on it as early as I can, because if it goes in order of time based on, like, say they get 1,000 Elite Plus people, on September the 3rd, and then they get 1,000 Elite Plus people on September the 4th, maybe they email the first 1,000 that booked on September 3rd. Like, I don't know what their process is. So the earlier we can get them, the better.
That's right. Okay. Good.
Anything else on that?
So from then, once we've got that, we're going to receive information about the itineraries and lead-in pricing. We would send that to our clients and have them select maybe, I'm thinking have them select a first choice, second choice kind of thing. Because then if I understand correctly, Tina, when we get the phone call, are we at that point saying, this is what my client wants and booking it right then and there over the phone?
Well, it seems kind of weird that it's going to be a phone call. Like how many reps do they have, right? Like they did say that we could reach out to them. I'm not, that part of the process is still a little unclear to me. Like I would rather they just open it up in Cruising Power and then we can just go reallocate it to our sailing that we want to. So hoping that's what actually happens, but time will tell. And yeah, I would think first and second, especially if somebody wants like Christmas or inaugural, then yeah, you need to have a second choice because you might not get that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's all just stay in touch on that and hopefully we get everything we want, but who knows?
Are they going to call us or are they going to call the client?
No, they said they're going to call us.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird because like that doesn't seem like a very timely solution.
Well, we'll have to patch in the clients.
Well, no, that's why we're sending them the itineraries a week in advance. They're to pick ahead of time. And then when somebody calls us, we should know.
We've got their pre-selections already ready to go. So we're just waiting on phone calls basically and finding out what clients, what they want. And then we have to be on the ready to say this is what they want and hope it's available. That part's going to be a little awkward, I think, because if if 1 and 2 is not available, then it's like, how long do we have their space open for before we can link in with them? What if they're not available? What if we're not? Like, it just...
Yeah, I know. It's awkward.
Yeah.
I think I asked this question during the webinar and no one ever reached out to me because they said they were going to reach out to answer questions afterwards and I never got an answer. But I
asked too and didn't get any answers either.
Because my question was, does the $700 deposit cover the full deposit when they book this? Or are they going to require additional funds? Because that requires more permission to process an additional deposit payment when we go to book it. Or is it like a future passage voucher that the $200 deposit they pay on board acts as their deposit and they don't require any additional funds unless we're moving them into a group and then you have to fulfill the full deposit for a group booking?
I would be inclined to think that it's probably the whole deposit, but it may switch to non-refundable. I don't know how they're going to handle that.
Right. Like this,
but it'd be awkward to ask for more money at that point.
Well, when we get the information package, maybe the deposit requirements will be noted there.
I would think so. Yeah. Apparently, as soon as you do a booking, you get emailed the information.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you do one of those placeholder bookings.
Because, I mean, we can allocate one and apply the $700, but then if it says, the deposit is actually $2,000, then we have to get permission to process another $1,300 payment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next topic. Did you guys see the email from Princess?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of skimmed over it. What do we need to know? I'm just going to go pull it up.
Is the one about the group space or the group Princess Plus? Is that one?
Was there anything that affected us? Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that what we already knew? Was that 2025 ones still have the Princess Plus, but 2026 going forward, it's all gone?
Yeah.
Is that the email?
Okay. I didn't even know 2025 had Plus on it, but okay. Yeah. I only knew about our space got repriced without Plus. So
after like June 24th or something, right? Mm-hmm. Bookings before a certain date in June, I think it was, or July. Maybe it was July.
Okay. So that makes sense to everybody then? You just have to look for the code, I think, right? The GXA is the code for the Plus.
The very next screen as well will tell them, here are your Princess Plus perks. It's allocated right in the next screen. So if you don't see that screen, you didn't get the perks.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
They actually made it more consistent. So, yeah.
Yeah. I had Princess Plus written down twice to talk to you guys about. Okay. The only other thing that I have that I can think off the top of my head here is just a reminder that Kayla does anything groups or cruise complete, anything like that. You guys can reach out to her. I don't need to be tied into every single conversation. So, all that kind of stuff. Like this morning, actually, I caught it because it came to my email. But like, for example, there's a price wrong on Cruise Complete. So I just CC'd Kayla on the next email on it. But, and Trisha, you did nothing wrong because I sent that to you. But just saying that's the kind of stuff that all can go to Kayla. So she's going to be handling Cruise Complete 100% going forward. So, as we start working through, getting that updated, if you see any wrong pricing or anything like that. I found one this morning that it said it went to Russia. So we had to send that in because it wasn't Russia. It was actually Croatia. So that's the kind of stuff that they need to know at Cruise Complete so they can make those fixes. Okay. Linda, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. So we just finished ASMAR month. The numbers were looking really good. I have to pull final ones today and get that report done. We're starting Virgin Voyages month, so we have that pre-recorded webinar that we're going to get up. I'm just getting the landing page for the offers finalized before I post that and do a tag everybody. We have Virgin Voyages ads going up to promote the offers as well. We have a Royal Caribbean holiday campaign that we're starting. So trying to push that 2025 holiday sailings and get those extra sailors on board and see if we can maybe hit those numbers. What else do we have coming up? Virgin Voyages Supplier of the Month e-news. I think everybody, I don't know if I mentioned it last meeting or just on chat, but MSC is coming on board for October as our supplier of the month. So they're not bringing in co-op dollars this time, and we're just grateful that they're willing to jump in and do a webinar. They're going to be joining us for our team meeting on the 30th of this month, and we have some swag and stuff that we're going to give away. So we're going to, we had to make a quick shift. So a huge thanks went out to Sean for being so willing to switch to September on short notice, and then we'll have MSC in October, and then we'll round out the year with Black Friday and Cruisemas. So that's what's going on there. We have a celebrity campaign that is going to get up at some point. We just keep getting delayed a little bit with these other things that keep taking priority, but we're doing a celebrity campaign, Same Cruise, Better Price, featuring our exclusive rates. So really pushing that. One thing just to mention, when you're using AI, actually a couple of little things to mention. So when you're using AI for posting, it might be, if it's something specific like that, it's about you, you might want to make a note to AI to write it in first person, so that it doesn't, so you're not talking in third person, because AI quite often will write that way. The other thing is to watch out for those M dashes. AI loves M dashes. So that's like the double dash. You'll notice AI uses it all the time instead of commas. And while M dashes do have a place, and Holly would probably be able to tell us exactly what that place is, you'll find that, like, if you look at your stuff that AI's created, you'll see it has tons of M dashes, and that's one of the things people do have started to point out, and so people can really recognize when something is written by AI. For the most part,
is there one program that's better than another for that, Linda?
They all use them. Like, it doesn't matter what AI you use, they all seem to love the M dash.
Can you just tell them not to use them? Can you tell them? Because I always change the, like, I always copy and paste the same instructions.
I mean, I guess you could. I haven't tried. I just usually look through whatever it's written for me, and then obviously I'm not using it most of the time verbatim. I'm making some edits and taking some stuff out and maybe moving stuff around. And then I'm also taking those M dashes and changing them to commas. And I'm just gonna add Holly to the stage because Holly is our editor in chief and communications grammar police. And so, Holly, when do you use an M dash? Because honestly, I never used one.
Okay, so an M dash is more, think of it like a separate thought in your sentence. So I went to this place, and by the way, that's where an M dash is going in. It's not part of the thought that you're making a comma. I went down the street and I saw a dog. There's no M dash, and Claude would throw an M dash in there. I went down the street and I saw a dog. There'd be a big M dash. An M dash is for a separation of something that's a secondary thought. You're rarely going to write with an M dash as somebody writing in a casual conversational style. It's more of a formal writing style. And Claude, you're right. Claude, I'm using Claude. It's always an M dash instead of a comma. So just read through and make it a comma. Or sometimes it actually should be. Sorry? Hello?
Sorry. Do mine have M dashes? I can't even picture them. I can't get on Facebook.
Linda has probably noticed more.
Here, I'm going to share because I'm going to share a screen, and so I was reposting.
Rick, can you turn your volume, your mute on?
Sorry, hold on.
I'm thinking it's Rick that's making the noise here.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So this was Matt's post for Silverseas. So I was copying and pasting it over to our Vacations for Canadians page, and you can see all these M dashes. So in between kitchen and hands-on, in between experience and lavish silver. So, and there was a couple more that I've already taken out and changed them to commas. Like I think there was some in here between Alaska and experience. Like there's a lot here. Like it's just full of them all over the place. So
it basically uses it for every punctuation. It just puts an M down.
Yeah.
I can't see that screen at all. I don't know how anyone else reads that. That's a microscopic blur. And I have glasses.
So it just looks like a long dash.
Yeah, an M dash is an extra long dash. It's not the hyphen. To get it on your keyboard.
Okay, I'll note a look for that.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't typically use it because you have to hold down Shift Command and then use the hyphen. It's not something you'd use in your normal typing style.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why it stands out that AI did it, because typical non-editorial people are not finding the M dash on their keyboard.
Okay, so something like that, I would just change to a hyphen, right? Because I'm talking that.
Yeah.
That's almost like like the title, and then it's the paragraph that explains it. Whereas some of the other ones, it's almost like a sentence break, but could have been a comma.
Could have been a comma. So in cases like this, I sometimes, where it's a title, I will retype that in all caps and make it look like a title, or other times, use a hyphen, whatever, depending on what you're talking about. But it puts that M dash everywhere.
Okay.
So Holly, can we instruct in our instructions to not use M dashes?
I haven't done it, but I would try. Like I often say, revise to write in first, or revise to write in third person, or revise to be future tense, depending on what it is. Because for me, it seems to default to first person, and I just did it. Like it's always telling me, I just got back. It likes to use that. I just got back from, when I'm asking it to write about a destination. So it's writing in first person, like I just got back and this was great. Whereas I want it to be saying,
stop telling people to trade their snowshoes.
Yes. Yes, it seems to
I always say no trading or swapping allowed.
It seems to get into habits with certain users where it's repeating the same phrase.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always talking about I just got off a plane, and that's the way it's writing the post. So I'll have to tell it, no, I'm talking to a traveler who is going to go. So revise the tense. Mm-hmm. You just have to watch out for that.
Okay, good to know.
Yep. All right, perfect. Thank you for that explanation, because honestly, I have never used an M dash in my entire life.
Well, that's why it sticks out. Most laymen are not finding the M- on the computer.
Awesome. Thanks, Holly. Put Kayla back up. Yeah, so I think for me, that's kind of it. We're excited to have Amy on board. She's got such a great experience with video, and the fact that she's done podcasts definitely is exciting. But we're gonna wait and let her work on those videos and get used to us first before we hit her with anything else we might want to add to her plate. So the same as with the rest of the marketing team. If there's something you need, if you can go through me. Sorry, my kid's calling me. I just got to grab this.
Kayla, do you want to take over?
Yeah, sure. I always say there's nothing really pressing on my end. Still in meetings about the new CRM, working on that. Like Tina said, I'm going to be kind of diving a little bit deeper into Cruise Complete, so I get more versed on everything to do with that software. And I'm wrapping up my course today, actually. So my program, I have one more assignment to do, and then I'm done with my 6-week program, which has been great. Lots of techniques and things I can use in practice, which will be great. But yeah, that's kind of it on my end.
Okay. I would love a summary of everything that you found useful from your course. I can't believe it went by that quickly. That was insane. So
yeah, I know.
I'm not on the spot right now, but at some point, just send me an email of just what you found valuable out of that program, and if it was valuable.
For sure, yeah. It's called a women in leadership program, but it's the information's very general. Like it's not. You could apply it to both women and men. So, yeah, I found it to be. For me personally, I find I have techniques I can use moving forward to be a little bit more assertive, hopefully, but still like cooperative. Like I think it's going to be really helpful for me personally. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Does anybody have anything else that they want to, and just wave at me if you're not in the group on stage, and I will let you in.
I just did a fun course on CLIA that was for the state of the cruise industry. It was one of the free courses that pop up in our emails every now and then on the different CLIA free training that they have. So some of the slides from it I posted on the agent chat. Some of them I threw in the luxury chat because it was specific to the luxury brands. But if you saw those emails, I mean, most of the time I just file those in my CLIA folder and don't even open them. But I thought maybe this would be an interesting one to do because I really was interested to see their take on where the trends are heading for the cruise industry. So I found it very interesting that the way they're projecting that the cruise industry is going to continue to build and continue to increase in its numbers. Because I thought, we might be finally seeing the tipping point of the bounce back from COVID, where people's desire to travel is going to start descending. And in actual fact, it looks like it's continuing to trend in an upward direction. And that, with the increase in ship fleets and people's desire to travel is kind of pivoting away from all inclusives. So I found it very interesting that the numbers and statistics that they were sharing. So some of those graphs and stuff I posted in the chats just for people to see where that was coming from. That was all from that CLIA cruise industry course.
Yeah, that's awesome, Matt. They do that course every year. So just kind of like it's like the State of the Union kind of thing. It's just like, what's new. And for sure, I mean, you can just tell by all the new ships coming into the industry that obviously the projections are positive. They feel like it's definitely the hottest thing right now. cruising in general is hot, but specifically luxury and expedition are very hot as well. So it's a great place for us to be. I think we're positioned really well. And just, saying that, Matt, I did a lot of number crunching over the weekend because we just finalized, what we sent to the accountant for last year. And, I'm always thinking about, okay, what's this year? We've got our budget already set for this year. What's the next 5 years look like? How do we do 12 to 20? Like, how do we get ourselves there? And I mean, I've looked at the numbers this way and that way, every which way and sideways. And I think the projection looks good. Like, it's still a little nerve-wracking. I've been through, COVID and then through this tariffs thing. So I'm a little bit gun shy, I would say, as far as being too optimistic, but I would say the numbers look good. I'm feeling cautiously optimistic that we are definitely in the right direction. And I think we have a great team to get us there.
And the one thing that I really took away from that is just the shift in demographic that, cruising has typically been an older demographic as far as the cruise industry goes. And they're saying that they've seen a real transition to a younger demographic, especially for new to cruising and doing a second cruise, especially even in the same year that they return back for a second one within the same year, that demographic of those that are booking and doing a second sailing within the same year is transitioning to that younger demographic, that the older clientele are booking further out, but are typically doing one cruise a year, and that the numbers are rising on the younger demographics that they're booking closer in, but doing a second one within the same year because they get on that first one and then now they've scratched that itch and now they want another one. So
did they talk about solos?
They did. They said that the numbers on that are rising. I think they said it was 12%, and they're projecting it that it's going to go up to 20% from 12 to 20. So that's
crazy.
That's a big jump. The luxury fleet, they said just over the last, I think they said 5 years, that the luxury fleet has grown by 300%. So like the investment in luxury lines and them having a higher percentage of clientele, like it just keeps growing and growing at a really fast pace.
Yeah, it's the demand is out there. I mean, if 20% are solos, that's crazy. Like, we should be selling more solos, right? I mean, that's just mind blowing. And I think a lot of the solos are younger people. They don't necessarily.
I hope that them seeing this trend is going to translate to the cruise lines getting better with their single supplements, because that's the only thing that really cripples that industry when it comes to solos is how much they have to pay.
I've got one client that they travel as a big group, but there's one solo in the group, and they're always trying to book 2 years out, and they're always asking me for single supplement on that one person. And I'm like, it's almost impossible to find any single supplement 2 years out unless it's a transatlantic or like a specific ship, like an Edge class where they have a specific cabin.
Yeah.
So we just, I guess, need to be better at, getting those cabins, because once they're gone, they're gone. And then, so yeah, no, very interesting. Good stuff. Anybody else? Any good news this week? Kids went back to school. Are we all happy? That's why I said Parents' Day. I was thinking about y'all.
Oh my gosh.
The amount of times I've discussed the outfit Kinsley put on this morning, like, I was so happy to see her in it, and then that conversation's officially done now. So
that's why I'm glad my kid goes to a Catholic school, and it's like, just put on the uniform.
Yeah.
Out you go. There's no debating it. It's blue or blue.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? Nope. Okay. All right. Do we want to close off and we'll stop taping, and then Luxury, do you want to just stay on? Okay.
Sounds good. Okay.
We'll see you guys.
Stream.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
That'll be 2 minutes.